Doma Sports Talk, worldwide, with some news from the world of boxing, so y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed, baby. Now, things I like to say. You remember? This following. Do you like Deontay Wilder? Do you like Floyd Mayweather? Do you like Andre Ward? Do you like Terence Crawford? If you don't like all of them, something else is wrong with you because they don't have much in common, right? Other thing I'll tell you and tell you in a heartbeat is racism trumps everything else, pun intended. And it does. These are things that have just come from a wise man. I don't know who that wise man is, but a wise man. And it's just the way it is, right? And so in boxing, I'm just going to prove something to you right now and make sure that we all get on the same page here because it's absolutely ridiculous and we can't just keep letting it go like that. We'll just back them off, right? Back off. Some of these things that are going on in daylight should be embarrassing / funny, right? Now, it's 3 boxers that are exceptional, that are actually heroes if you put the whole thing in perspective in terms of who they fought already, what they've accomplished already, and those who have avoided fighting them already. That has to be an equation because a lot of times you can back up, play that game of who have they fought, right? And the people that say that most of the times are in the know. They know how many people have avoided these fighters, right? That's an equation. That's a feather in your cap. If someone avoids you, obviously, in daylight, which we should all see, then that has to be, a feather in their cap. Actually, when you talk about long term, I think that should also be in the equation of these fighters are Hall of Famers or not, because the people avoided them in daylight. I would put a Demetrius Andrade, for example, in this category of people who've been avoiding him, real stars of the boxing scene, and, he might not make the Hall of Fame, but the ones who avoided him will. That shouldn't happen anymore. I think they should really go get something behind that. But anyway, let's talk about the ones right now. Let's talk first, Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson about to fight next week against William Zepeda. Everybody's mentioning everything else except for the fact Zepeda was mandatory, could have fought him on 2 different occasions and just decided not to. That is not being talked about. Another Mexican mandatory who says, I ain't doing that, right? Now that he's about to fight him, finally, after those things, which you should mention, he didn't want to fight him. Why? He's feather-fisted, has brittle hands, and all of those things that we say. Didn't want to fight him. Now has to. Now we got Turkey Al-Ashi talking about Tom and Jerry type of fights. He doesn't want to see no more running and wants to make the ring smaller, 18 by 18. Just helping the people, giving the handicap. All of a sudden now we got to make it for the, for the person who just fights this one way. We got to make it good for them, right? That's props to Shakur Stevenson, but it's also a slap in the face because Shakur Stevenson doesn't run. Shakur Stevenson doesn't get hit. What I told you, when people are coming to see BTBG, they're disappointed. So they will call it stuff like boring and running. Shakur Stevenson does not run. Because I just went and looked at a couple of fights. I didn't look at all of them. Just a couple, random fights. Like, well, where's the running? I'm avoiding getting hit. I'm upper body. But once I'm here, I'm right in the area to make you pay. I mean, if you can't appreciate that, then you're watching something else. You really are not trying, right? And this is what's up. So I'm not the kind of person that's going to just keep talking around it like we don't know what this is. What I said at the top of this video, racism trumps everything else. It's one of the strongest emotions there are. Only one close to it is envy. And envy and racism has a lot to do with each other, to be honest, right? And so that's what's going on. We ain't supposed to be talking about smaller rings and all that. Somebody beat Shakur Stevenson how it is. The man's undefeated. Somebody should beat him. Been in by probably one close fight. They talk about the Santos fight, which he won, but it's kind of close. Like, we can't get in a kind of close fight. I'm a pro fighter and the other dude is too. So, undefeated. Don't like him. He's not liked. He's been called runner. Giving this stuff. We're talking about a runner in his next fight. The guy who's headlining, who shouldn't be headlining over a 3-division champion, which he is. Undefeated 3-division champion and has been avoided. Crazy like avoided. You got Hamza Shariz, right? who dances around the ring in his very last fight. There ain't nobody talking to him. But I'm saying. And that's just Shakur Stevenson. Devin Haney. I've talked about him a lot. Devin Haney is a living legend. Still undefeated. The thing that people talk about Devin Haney is talking about calling him a runner. Because in his last fight, he was being elusive and using his legs when he moved up in the division after being cheated by someone like Ryan Garcia, who was his mandatory for Devin Haney and decided he didn't want to fight this guy. Right? He just didn't want to fight him. When he comes to a fight, he comes in overweight and doped to the gills. And so Devin Haney, after losing that fight, comes in his next fight and uses his legs so he can, say, I'm going to go up here and fight a world-class fighter who really stays in pocket and is a hard puncher. I'm going to stay away from this guy and just outpoint this one. And no one sees it like, that's what you should have done. Am I the only one that enjoyed watching that fight? Yeah, you're damn right I did. That's exactly what I wanted him to do. I'm going to keep repeating it. That's what I wanted Devin Haney to do after the circumstances. And no one talks about the damn circumstances, which is I was cheated by a cheater who he looked different in his next fight. Without the drugs, he looked like a scary ass dude. Let's just be real, right? Sad, right? Scary ass dude. That was sad. No one's talking about the sad performance from Ryan Garcia because that looked like a scary ass dude to me. But we're only talking about this brother, right? He's the runner. Never run before. Maybe he's mobile, uses legs a little bit in fights, but he hasn't ran before. Under those circumstances, we shouldn't even be talking about it, but we are. We're not talking about him being undisputed. We're not talking about people accepting franchise titles instead of fighting him. We don't even talk about Ryan Garcia, which I just said that was his mandatory, didn't want to fight him. And all the people in the lightweight division that's all faces of boxing and stuff like that. How can you be a face of boxing and have another dude in your division that's undisputed? Only in boxing. Another dude got all of the belts and somebody else is the face of boxing in the same damn division? Make that make sense, y'all. Now let's get up to the baddest one in boxing, Terence Crawford. We say everything about him except he ain't great. Right now, because the Canelo Alvarez fight's happening, people are coming out talking about the truth because they see the fight's about to happen. So people it's only a couple people left talking about Canelo going to win this fight. That's ridiculous. And Terence Crawford's resume is trash. So people would rather call about 80 fighters trash, and other than saying, well, at least he beat everybody with distance, except Magomedov. Everybody else is beaten with distance in his whole career. Bryce Prescott, trash with all the people he beat. Thomas Delory, with one loss at the time, trash, plus all the people he beat. Remember that. Terry Jean, John, trash. Manny Pacquiao's sparring partner, trash, plus all the people he beat. Ndungo, undefeated, trash, plus all the people he beat. Ricky Burns and Troyanowski, undefeated. Troyanowski, trash. Victor Postal, undefeated. Victor Klitschko, trash, plus all the people he beat, including Lucas Matisse. Jeff Horn, just beat Manny Pacquiao. You and Manny Pacquiao, trash, right? Because you beat Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao been scared of me for years, so that's trash. Jose Benavidez, you trash too. Plus that leg is messed up. You trash, right? Mad Machine, no, trash, right? Undefeated, but everybody you beat is trash with you. Kell Brook and Amir Khan, both of you English twos. Trash, mate. You two blokes, Trash. Plus everybody y'all beat. Trash. Right? Sean Porter, did you want to quit in the May? Trash. Get up out of here. Plus everybody you beat. Errol Spence got the car accident. You can't beat nothing after the car accident. Even though you beat Danny Garcia, my boy, and Ugas after the accident. But they're trash. Right? You beat them after the accident, but I beat you after the accident. Now the accident means something. But all trash. Madrimov, we throw you in there too in the trash can. Ain't nothing. You plus everybody y'all beat. All that's trash. Because we need to make sure that this guy, Terence Crawford, ain't nothing. So we'll throw everybody under the bus / in the trash just to make this guy. And y'all gonna tell me racism don't trump everything else? Damn it, wake up, New Russia. Doma Sports Talk. Worldwide. And recognize the heroism that's happening in front of your face. And I'm up out of here, y'all.